Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Relatively Gaming Podcast. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011, and I'm joined by my stressed out and tired hockey co-host, turn-based TJ. TJ, how are you, sir?
Doing very good. I don't know if I'm going to survive another overtime in the Stanley Cup Finals with the Hurricanes in there, but otherwise I'm doing great.
All right, well, good to hear. If this is your first time joining us, this is Relatively Gaming, where we talk relatively gaming stuff. We cover some gaming news from the week, talk about what we've been playing, do a fun mystery topic, which, spoiler, it's not that much of a mystery this week. And then we talk about a future game that we're looking forward to. Out of the dense population that we now have of games to look forward to. But if you like what you hear, please hit that like button down below, subscribe so you don't miss an episode, comment if you have something you'd like us to talk about in a future episode, and share it with somebody that you also might think would like the show. It helps us out a lot, and we would greatly appreciate it. But this is probably going to be a lengthy one with our fun mystery topic later, so let's get on into it. TJ, what do you got for news for us that's not related to the game showcases?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of news that's not related to the showcases. I
Right.
just got a little bit of quick news here, but a lot of it's Nintendo related because Nintendo reveals a new Switch 2 SKU. Huh? That's exciting.
Sure.
It's exclusive to Europe though. It's just a Switch 2 with a replaceable battery because of their consumer protection laws in
Okay.
Europe. Yeah. So, I know the Switch 2 is not region locked, just like the Switch 1. So maybe in the future I'll get a European one just so I can pop out that battery. That would be pretty nice for longevity's sake.
Sure. Yeah. Is this just like something like the internal system eventually it will like kind of crap itself? The handheld in the handheld mode or whatever?
No, it's just it's like a right to repair type situation in Europe.
Okay. Okay.
Where yeah, they have the right to be able to replace your battery easily, whereas I'm pretty sure in the American version of the Switch 2, you'd have to like unglue the bezel from the casing and everything to get to the battery, which is not technically very user friendly, or most people would have to take it somewhere to do that professionally.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you for elaborating on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's not as exciting as I would like, but it is cool that Nintendo's at least responding to those protection laws and stuff. And
Right.
I said maybe in the next iteration, if they make like an OLED model or whatever, they'll bring the battery replacement into the Switch too. That would be nice.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Speaking of the Switch 2 though, Elden Ring Tarnished Edition gets a release date on the Switch 2, and it gets some more details. The Tarnished Edition will launch on August 28th on Nintendo's platform, and not only will it include the DLC Shadow of the Erd Tree, but will also include content new to Elden Ring at large, including 2 new classes, new armor sets for Torrent, first time we can customize Torrent in the game, and several armor sets for the Tarnished. You'll be able to purchase this additional content on every other platform following August 28th.
Good.
So
Good.
I can get it on my PC platform as well. This just makes me more excited for the Switch version because now I can start the game with a new class. I believe one of the classes is called Heavy Knight,
Mm.
which is pretty cool. I think he gets like one of the big bastard swords and like a heavy set of armor. So that's a cool way to start the game for sure. So I'm definitely going to play that.
Very nice. And Torrent is the horse, right? The
Yeah, he's like a horse goat type
Oh,
thing.
okay. I mean, that's how much I played it. I just thought it was a horse, but okay. So you get to customize him as well a little bit. That's nice. Cool. And yeah, good that.
Yeah, I think there's like
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think there's like 3 armor sets for him, so it's not like a whole lot,
Oh,
but it's
sure.
something.
Yeah, and good that it's coming to other consoles as well. That's a nice touch, but very nice.
Yes, although I will say you do have to pay for it on the other consoles.
Sure.
But I believe it's like $3.50 or like
Okay.
$4 or something. So it's not astronomical,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah. I wonder if they would release like we joked about in the past, like a game of the year type edition eventually for the other consoles. Like maybe this will be Switch timed exclusive, and then to try and get even more of a new audience, just being like, hey, it's all in one package. Here you go. Maybe, or if that would be years down the line, similar to other Souls likes.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe they'll put the Tarnished edition up on Steam or whatever. You can buy it with both DLCs and
Yeah.
just has everything. Yeah, that makes sense. Um Keeping on the Nintendo train, though, Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pass adds Donkey Kong 64.
Hey.
So that's pretty exciting. I've never played Donkey Kong 64, so I'm excited to give it a check it out. Yeah, I know the song
Donkey
from
Kong.
Smash Brothers, but that's about it. Did you ever play DK64?
No, that's not country, right? That's a different one.
No, Donkey Kong Country is on the SNES. That's a 2D platformer.
Oh, okay.
DK64 is kind of like Mario 64, where it's like a 3D
Oh,
platformer.
gotcha. No, my only experience with Donkey Kong is Donkey Kong Country. They made a port or an edition for the Game Boy Advance, and that's all I've had of his games outside of Smash. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, so I've never played it either, but apparently a legendary game.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like Banjo-Kazooie and Mario 64 and those styles of games, or Ukulele, Hat in Time for more recent
Mm-hmm.
references, then yeah, maybe give that a check it out for
Nice.
sure. Um, let's see. A leaker, Major Play EX on Twitter claims that Capcom is working on a new Ace Attorney game. So that's pretty exciting. All their Ace Attorney games are on sale right now as well, so they're kind of getting the brand out there. Maybe there's something to this leak, but yeah. Have you ever played an Ace Attorney game? Does this excite you at all?
No, I've heard they're very entertaining and good, but no, this is another situation where I only have experience of a character via another game, and that would be was he in Base Marvel 3 or Ultimate Marvel 3? I can't remember, but one of those he's in, and he was
Yes.
a very fun character.
Yeah, he's hilarious in Marvel 3 for sure.
Yeah.
That he being Phoenix, right? Because there's like multiple different Ace
Oh,
Attorneys.
sure. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
point.
So I don't know if they'll go with Phoenix Wright again or if they'll go with like a new protagonist. But yeah, pretty cool. I've not played the games myself, but I have watched like the Game Grumps play through them.
Oh,
So
okay. Mm-hmm.
that's always a fun time. Yeah, for sure. And being that I don't have a lot of news this week because of the game showcases, here's my last piece of news.
Sure.
And that's just this kind of dips into the game showcases a little bit, but kind of not. Just days after its announcement, Star Wars Zero Company has its potential release date leaked. In a recent DL Labs report from well-known leaker Billy Kuhn, Star Wars Zero Company's release date has been listed as August 27th, 2026. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
That's very soon. We were just talking about not showing games and then being like, and it'll be ready in 3 years, like with The Witcher 4 and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So very exciting that this and something else that we'll talk about later on in the podcast, announcing it and then having it readily available very soon. So
Absolutely.
it's exciting.
Yeah. All right, very nice. I have actually quite a few of updates, which is kind of nice from stories we've covered in the past. So I'm going to jump into this first one that's coming from Polygon and Elijah Gonzalez. U.S. bill that would keep games playable after being shut down passes its first vote. After making headway in the UK and the EU, the Stop Killing Games movement is gaining ground in the U.S. The Stop Killing Games movement is finally starting to gain traction in the U.S. The California Assembly recently passed the Protect Our Games Act by bipartisan vote of 43 to 16. Wow, Congress is gamers. Oh, I'm sorry, that was me. With the bill having passed in California's legislative branch, the state equivalent of Congress, it will move to the state Senate for committee debate in June. The Stop Killing Games movement's YouTube page offered the following description of what the legislation would mean. Quote, the bill would require video game companies to give players advance notice before shutting down server-dependent games and provide a way to keep purchase games playable afterwards, such as offline access, community servers, or another workable option, end quote. It should be noted that this would only apply to purchase games, meaning free-to-play titles seemingly wouldn't fall under this legislation. If it were to pass, it would only apply to games released after January of 2027. So yeah, cool little update there that we're making some progress. Unfortunately, yeah, the free-to-play stuff is not going to be in effect, so your Fortnites, your Apex Legends, things of that nature, but they had a picture of Concord up there. But if it was something like a Concord where you bought into it for 20, 30, 40, whatever it is, and then they decide to stop doing it, well, you're going to have some more protection on that. So we're going to have to see a pivot from game developers and studios of like, do we keep going down this live service route if it is a paid in experience? Because now they got to kind of cover their butts towards the latter part if it does go away. I'm curious how it will affect their flow, but good to see, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely a win for consumers, I would say, for sure.
Moving over to our next update, because Bret, is a paranoid little man. Mina the Hollower sells 300,000 copies in 3 days. Yacht Club Games is saved. Founder Chris Velasco, sorry, this is coming from PC Gamer and Andy Chalk. Founder Chris Velasco said last year the Mina Hollower was make or break for the studio, and they made it for now anyway. In December 2025, Yacht Club Games founder Chris Velasco said that despite the studio's success with the 2014 hit Shovel Knight, it would be in serious trouble if its then upcoming game Mina the Hollower wasn't a hit. It's make or break for sure, Velasco said at the time. 6 months later, Mina has arrived, and it looks like the studio has made it for now at least. Velasco told Bloomberg that Mina the Hollower sold 300,000 copies in its first 3 days of release, putting it well above the 200,000 figure he said last year would be really, really great. It's still off the golden mark of 500,000 units sold, but the very strong critical response, Mina is currently tied with Forza Horizon 6 as the top-rated game of 2026 on Metacritic. Means that sales numbers will likely continue to climb. Among those many glowing reviews is our own, which we award Mina with a very rare 90% score. So, good to know that Yacht Club Games is in the green, question mark? Or is it at least safe from my worries last week. I don't know still where the president or that one guy was like, oh yeah, we need 1 million or whatever. If like 300,000's putting you in the safe zone. I mean, obviously maybe it's just like wishes and dreams and hopes. I did look after last week's podcast at what Shovel Knight sales have been lifetime, and they're in the millions. So maybe it was just me being like, you need 1 million now? What? Instead of, over the long run. But yeah, all in all, glad to hear that their yacht club is good and seemingly in the clear. And I haven't tried out Mina myself, but I think we might be talking about it a little bit more later. I don't know. But happy that it's doing well and has good receptions. So, yay.
Yeah, I don't have like a bunch to talk about with Mina the Hollower. I have a little bit to talk about later on, but yeah, I have played the game. I've played it a little bit, and it is very, very good. So it is worthy of the of selling those 300,000 copies. That's a really good news to hear for sure, especially after last week's podcast where he's like, we need 1 million right now. So.
Yeah. All right, and my last update on a positive as well. I'm kind of surprised. He heard us, TJ. He heard us specifically. Okay, and maybe the internet. This is from Kotaku and Ethan Gotch over there. Hideo Kojima says he's not interested in AI. Maybe AI could create art, but while I live, I don't think I'll see it. So, let's see. Last month, a generative AI version of Death Stranding 2 director Hideo Kojima appeared in a short promotional video for a Prada art installation revolving around the famed game developer and movie director Nicholas Winding Refn, who also appeared at the character, I think this is supposed to be as the character Hartman in Kojima's most recent game. The slop, it says in this article, left a sour taste in many fans' mouths. Kojima recently shared his broader view on the controversial technology. Quote unquote, art is life, he told the Washington Post for a profile of the art exhibit. Quote, but in 50 years, 100 years, I don't know. Maybe AI could create art, but while I live, I don't think I'll see it. I'm not interested in it, end quote. He added, we'll find a good path to how we use technology, and it's really up to young people on how we use it. He was speaking in the context of a profile of a larger event called Satellites 2. It's a successor to a similar event which took place in Tokyo, Japan, and acts as a meditation on analog technology, music, and the friendship Kojima and Refn share that transcends language barriers and time zones. Despite his prolific social media presence, I need to slow down, an expanding portfolio of creative ventures, Kojima's relationship to the hot technology of the moment has been difficult to discern. While some developers embrace it and others boycott it, it remains unclear where exactly Gen AI fits into the Metal Gear Solid creators' worldview. Kojima was here at Valve talking about his new game, Death Stranding at the time, And he mentioned the importance he places in the future work in AI. Gabe Newell wrote in a recently unearthed email to to Musk in 2018. He was talking about how much he wants to go into space, and I offered to introduce him to you. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I'm going to stop reading this because it's just it goes more into just that, whatever that was. So yeah, Kojima, backtracking. Learned from his mistakes. Glad to hear. Thank God.
Hey, sometimes the internet, like with Sonic the Hedgehog, sometimes the backlash gets it right. So
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'll just leave it at that. All right. I got two more news stories. Next one is coming from Blue Sky. It's not even an article, but this is from the woman herself. Lucy James has announced that she has left GameSpot and she has moved on to an independent focused program that I believe she's leading called Looking For Game, an independent weekly newsletter where she highlights upcoming PC games and delivers demo codes straight to your inbox. If you're interested, you could sign up at lookingfor.game and get involved with her new project. But congrats to her. She's putting a lot of good work over the years, so cool to see that she's going out on her own and trying this out. So yeah, go lend your support. Last one for my Steam users. This comes from friend of the show, Emily Merritt, over at No Small Games, also from Blue Sky. Quote, did Valve just silently release, or rather quietly release, an actually good, useful, and well-designed feature for game discovery and release date tracking on Steam? Hold on, I'm going to need a minute. And then Emily shares some screenshots that Steam now has your personal calendar. So I believe these are games on your wish list, or like she says, that they think you're into, and it is giving you a date-by-date calendar of those actual releases. So just a nice little way to kind of stay a little bit more organized of what's coming out and look forward to, instead of what I usually do, wish list stuff, and then totally forget about it. So nice little feature from Steam. Hopefully people can take advantage of that.
yeah.
One last thing, actually. Steam Next Fest. Hey, guess what? It's snuck upon us again. It is, as of this podcast dropping, next week, June 15th through June 22nd. So Steam is going to have a lot of Next Fest demos out there. Please go show your support. Try some games out. Wishlist them if you enjoy them. We will try our best to maybe play some of those and cover it on next week's podcast, but no promises. Just keep heads out for that. Okie dokie. So that's going to wrap up the news this week. Sorry, TJ, did you have something to add on that point?
No, absolutely. I just I like that you were like, no promises though. And I agree.
Yeah, it
I'm
snuck
gonna
up on me,
maybe
and
try
I'm
some
like,
demos. Yeah.
So we are going to move on to our next section, which is, what you been playing, man. So TJ, what you been playing, my guy?
I've been playing a lot of stuff just on the Switch too. Been sticking on the Switch 2 kick. So of course I had to try out Pacopia. If you have a Switch 2, you gotta play Pacopia. Been enjoying myself, really. Been having a lot of fun with it. I just built a Pokemon sensor and unlocked the second area, so I'm not like super far into the game, but far enough where now I'm just like you said, where it's like I could go to the second area. It's like I'm trying to raise the environment level of the first area and trying to organize everything. Because at first I was just putting the habitats for the Pokemon just willy-nilly just so that I can unlock them, and now it's like, all right, well, let me organize them a little bit.
Sure.
Maybe get them some houses and stuff. So it's a really big world, though. There's a lot to do. I like that there's like half-built structures that you can build onto, or you can just destroy and completely ignore them and do whatever you want to do. So that's really cool as well. And then yeah, like all the blocks are breakable and stuff. So it's kind of like Minecrafty as well, where you can like just put blocks everywhere and stuff. So it's really cool. And also it's kind of refreshing coming from Animal Crossing, where in Animal Crossing there's like how many villagers do you get? You like 5 villagers, 6 villagers
I
on your
think it's a
island?
few more than that, but it's limited, obviously, what you can have on your island. You can reach a cap, and then you got to be like, all right, well, if I want a new one, I got to kick you out and type deal. So,
Yeah, exactly. Whereas the Pokemon one, I'm like, oh my God, I've got like 20 Pokemon already. What's going on? Yeah, like it's much more extensive, and they all have like tasks and stuff for you to do. They're like, my habitat would be better if you built me this thing next to it, or it'd be cool if you check this place out. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. I think I like it more than Animal Crossing. It's a little bit more extensive. It's a little bit more to do than in Animal Crossing, but yeah, I don't really play those types of games very often, so it's nice that it's a very good one for sure.
mhm.
Have you been keeping up with your Pokopia journey, or have you dropped off?
Man, I feel bad that I've dropped off. I have not checked in a while, and maybe that was something we've talked about my upcoming trip, where I'm like, I'll have the Switch. I've been meaning to build. I think I showed you guys on stream and whatnot, but I kind of have like a graveyard area right now, where I have Cubone and Marowak and some of the ghosties and whatnot, and I've kind of gotten some hints for more ghost habitats and whatnot. And I'm like, oh, okay, I want to kind of expand that, and I might want to do like a more haunted house type gimmick. So I remember I have gathered a lot of blocks for that. But maybe that will be like a project for the plane ride, is building that, or at least playing it while I'm on vacation, kind of getting back into the swing of things. Because I do miss it. And like you said, I'm definitely on that train of like, I've accomplished a little bit, but then it's been like, I'm just going to decorate and not do the story stuff. So maybe I'll
Yeah.
get back on the track of like, I want to discover more Pokemon, at least easier. Like there reaches a certain point when, not if you're not doing the story stuff, but obviously if you're kind of just cleaning things up or whatnot, obviously your discovery rate slows down because you're not doing as many new habitats type thing.
Yeah.
So I think I want to get back into that, because there's a decent amount of Pokemon obviously I've seen through social media posts and whatnot that I don't have. So there's still a bunch to chase down. So haven't played it in a while. Would like to get back into it, hopefully over the vacation.
Yeah, absolutely. And full disclosure, I feel like we're recording on Sunday now. We usually record on a Friday.
Sure.
So usually the games that I play this weekend would be on like next weekend's pod
Oh
or
yeah,
next
yeah, yeah.
episode's podcast. So I've had like 2 weekends worth of playing games now, and I would say that Pokopia was like heavy on the first half of the week,
Mm,
and I've kind of dropped off on it now as I've been playing some other games.
yeah.
So I'm hoping that I get back into it myself, honestly, even though I've only been dropped off for like 4 days or something.
Sure. I wonder if it would be a good fit, because we've talked about it off podcast. Like, you watch a show or you watch a movie, and sometimes you're playing a game at the same time. I wonder if this would be a good one where it doesn't require like your full attention. So if you still wanted to check in on the show, but you can kind of vibe out with that. I wonder if that would be a good fit for those opportunities.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, because then if you look up from the screen, it's not like someone's gonna hit you or something
Yeah.
like that. Like, yeah, yeah, you're safe.
Mhm.
Everything's okay. Yeah, absolutely. Well, even though I feel like everybody who owns a Switch 2 has played Pocopia, it's actually not the number one game on the eShop currently. It is Mina the Hollower is actually the number one game on the Nintendo
Cool.
eShop, which is pretty great. So I've been playing that game for a little bit. By a little bit, I mean like maybe like 2 hours or so. I haven't gotten super far into it because it is hard.
Mm.
It's a very hard game. At first, I was really struggling, and then I started getting some techniques down because you don't have it plays like Legend of Zelda, but it's also like a Souls-like. Um, and you kind of it's very directional attack based. You only have four directions that you can go into. So if there's like a bird flying in or whatever at like an angle, like a diagonal angle, you have to try and reposition yourself so that your sword will hit them or your weapon or whatever. So there's a lot of like that kind of movement based skill. But yeah, so it plays like that, but it's very difficult. You have to get you get like souls, just like souls like they're called bones in this game, but it's the same thing. You get bones from enemies and then you can level up. And I kept dying so much and so often from the platforming and stuff that I wasn't able to level up. And then I got to the first like boss. Like I fought two bosses before this, but this is the first like boss of like a main key
Mm.
area.
Mm-hmm.
There's like six areas, and I like got to the end of like the first main area, to the first boss, and I'm just like under leveled
Mm-hmm.
for this boss, and it takes me so long to chip away at its health. Like I feel like I should have beaten the boss, but I'm not because my attack damage is not doing enough damage. Uh, so that's been very frustrating because I feel like I'm locked where I can't backtrack to
Oh.
level up or anything either.
Hmm.
So that's kind of why I stepped off Meat of the Hollower for a little bit. But having said that, I do plan on going back because the gameplay is very satisfying. So I do plan on going back in and trying to beat that boss. Maybe trying to just grin and bear it and work my way backwards as much as I can to go find a grinding spot so I can level up a couple of times.
Hmm.
Because I feel like if I leveled up at least like once, I would be, much better off at facing the boss. I'm just not doing enough damage with my attacks. Um, but having said that, there's a lot of accessibility options in Meat of the Hollower, which is really cool. Where I forget what they're called, but basically you can turn on like cheats and stuff. Where you can be like the bosses are much easier, or you don't lose all of your bones when you die, or you don't need bones at all. It just automatically levels you up. But for the area that you're in, your levels will match the area that you're in, so you don't have to worry about the bones and stuff. So you can do that. And I thought about doing that just to get past this first boss. But as soon as you do that, it turns off the feats, which is like the in-game achievement system. And I'm playing on the Switch 2, and there are no achievements on the Switch 2. So the fact that this game has in-game achievements, I'm like, well, I want to do that then because I can't really achievement chase in any other game on the Switch. So I want to make sure that's not disabled. So I haven't enabled any of those cheats yet just to get past this boss. But yeah, the art style is really good. The music is really good. The music's actually incredible. Like we were talking about video game music last week and how I don't really care for it too much unless it's like Kirby.
Hmm.
But I feel like I would listen to this video game music like outside of the game. It's that good. It's it's like a Castlevania-y. Like
Okay.
I would describe this game as a mixture between Legend of Zelda and Castlevania and Elden Ring. Which is crazy. Um, that I'm saying Elden Ring in there, but it is a big like open world, interconnected world. And you have all the souls and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So it's cool. Yeah, the thing that I've been struggling with that the main mechanic is that there's no dodge roll.
Hmm.
Instead, you jump up in the air, and then if you hold, which is just your jump button, but then if you hold the jump button, then when you land, you'll burrow underground, and then you can burrow for a couple of seconds and dodge that way. But it's getting that timing. You have to really anticipate an attack because you have to jump up in the air and then go underground. While you're in the air, you can still get hit. So
Hmm.
you have to really make sure that you're anticipating a move like a couple of seconds before they do it, so that you can be underground when they actually swing. Um, and so trying to master that mechanic has really been my biggest challenge. But I feel like once you get that down, it might trivialize the game. It might make it fairly easy.
Hmm.
Like I said, I've been doing pretty good about that with the first boss, but I'm not doing enough damage. Like I gotta hit him so many times where it's like
Hmm.
it's ridiculous. So very cool game though. Really really did enjoy my time with it. Um, but yeah, something I also got off the eShop was the Nintendo Switch online expansion pack. So
Hmm.
when you come down, we can play Iggy's Wrecking Balls and
Woo!
and other games,
Ah.
but mostly that one,
Hmm.
mostly Iggy. But no, on there, I was perusing the games and stuff, and on there they actually have on the GameCube, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance,
Oh.
which is a game that costs like $250 if you want to buy a physical copy of Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. So when I was collecting GameCube games when I was like 22, 23, that was like my white whale because I never could afford to buy the physical copy of it. And I also never played Dolphin emulators, which is the GameCube emulator. I've never like
Hmm.
messed around with that. I didn't have a PC at that time that could handle that. So I never got around to actually playing Path of Radiance. It's just been like a hole in my Fire Emblem knowledge. And fans say it's like some of the best. Like actually looking at different rankings of Fire Emblem games, people put it at like usually like two or three.
Hmm.
Some people put it at number one. But yeah, so I've been playing it. There's 30 chapters and I'm like 14 chapters in. So I'm almost halfway through. So I've really been playing a lot of Path of Radiance. And if you don't know, Path of Radiance is the Fire Emblem game that Ike comes from.
Oh, okay.
So it's been cool to see his game and everything. And I don't know if it was their first console game, but it's definitely their first console game in the West. They were doing, I think they only had two previous games before Path of Radiance, which was Sacred Stones and just called Fire Emblem on the Game Boy Advance. So I think this was the first swing at the console gameplay. And as to that, the 3D models on the GameCube, not the best. Still a little rough around the edges, still 2005, but In modern Fire Emblem games like Fire Emblem Engage and Fire Emblem Three Houses, the 3D models are good enough. They look like anime characters good enough where you just do the 3D models like talking to each other.
Yeah.
But because the 3D models are so poor in the GameCube era, they actually just still use like hand-drawn portraits of every
Mm.
character,
Mm-hmm.
and they look really good. The hand-drawn portraits, it's like really incredible. So I've been enjoying that, seeing all the anime artwork of each character as they're talking to each other. There's still support conversations and stuff. Um, and it's just cool to play like an older Fire Emblem game. It is a bit harder than modern Fire Emblem games, for sure. I had to replay this one mission like almost 10 times because I could not get past it because I actually there's still it's Fire Emblem, so there's permadeath. So I let one of the characters die in a previous mission, and then for like 3 missions in a row, I was just like shorthanded.
Mm.
I was down a guy, and I didn't realize it would be that bad. So I really struggled with those missions. And there's one where I had 6 units, and the enemy had 29 units. And you have to survive 8 turns, and I just could not get to turn number 8. It was just so there's like 3 choke points, and I could plug up 2 choke points, but I could not plug up that third one. It was a nightmare. I just had to keep redoing it. But luckily, with the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pass, you can actually set up suspension points.
Mm.
So I did make a suspension point halfway through the battle. That way, there when I lost, which I did, I didn't have to start the whole battle over again because the battles do take about 45 minutes or so. So when you lose all that progress, you're like, son of a gun,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
really hard. Especially when you lose a unit, like maybe you just you have like your tough units that can take hits, like your knights and stuff, and then you have your squishy units like the mages and the clergy and stuff, and like the archers, and you try and keep them in the middle where they don't get hit.
Mm-hmm.
But every once in a while, you just won't see an enemy or you won't anticipate, and they'll slip through your lines and like just because they're very good. The AI, not the well, I guess yeah, whatever it is, the NPCs in the game
Sure.
are very good at beelining towards your weakest enemies or your weakest allies. So they'll just sneak through your lines and just like hit your clergy guy and kill him. And you're like, "Fuck, I don't have a healer now, so I gotta restart this whole mission again.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, my clergy guy's dead." So that really sucks. And in modern Fire Emblem games, like I've been playing Fire Emblem Engage as well a little bit. Um, there's just a rewind feature, and you can just rewind to your last turn and be like, all right, I won't put him there, or I'll make sure that I know where that guy is. But being that this game came out in 2005, there's no such accommodation features. It's like, well, you fucked up. Time to reset that 45 minutes and redo this whole battle again. And so thank God that there are suspension points on the virtual console. That's really cool. It's made it a much more palatable experience so that I can, like I said, save the matches like halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, it's been really cool. The story, I haven't mentioned the story at all or whatever. People say it's like one of the best stories in Fire Emblem games. I don't know. It's not like a great story, but for Fire Emblem, it's very good.
Mm.
Fire Emblem's not really known for having like the best stories of all time. So for Fire Emblem, it's really good. It has this whole thing about there's like people that turn into animals, and they get called subhuman and stuff. So there's this whole like racism thing in the game that's handled pretty well so far through 14 chapters. I think they're handling the topic in a pretty decent way, and it's cool. It works out mechanically in the game as well. Where I have 2 allies that are 2 units that are these like animal transforming units, and they have like a meter below them where like they get a certain amount of points every turn that builds up, and then they'll turn into the animal, and then they're like unstoppable. They can kill like a bunch of people. But then when they're that animal, then that meter at the bottom starts going in the opposite direction, and they'll turn back into a human where they don't have any weapons or anything
Mm.
because they refuse to use human weapons. So they're kind of defenseless at that point. So, and I have 2 of them. One of them turns into an animal as soon as the round starts, and then will turn back into a human later, where the other one starts off as a human and has to build up to turn into the animal. So it's cool trying to do this like yin yang, like taking care of these meters and stuff and making sure I'm like, oh, she's got like 2 turns left as an animal. I gotta really back off because I don't want to leave her vulnerable when she turns into a human again. So really cool mechanic, really cool mechanically. Ike is very cool. I don't know. I've just been really enjoying the game. It's really been getting me back into Fire Emblem in general. I want to go back and finish Fire Emblem Engage now, and I want to replay Fire Emblem Three Houses, continue that replay through. And there is a new Fire Emblem game coming out this year. So I forget what it's called, but they had already previously announced it, and they said it's coming out in 2026. So I'm sure we'll hear more details about that in the coming weeks. But because there's supposed to be allegedly, rumoredly, a Nintendo Direct this week, so we'll have to see. Nintendo doesn't tell anybody anything, so who knows? But we'll have to see. And if they do have a Nintendo Direct, I can't imagine that they don't have the release date of this Fire Emblem game. So that's really cool. They also have Fire Emblem Sacred Stones and the Fire Emblem game I was talking about earlier on the GBA Virtual Console as well. But I've played those games to death because I had on Game Boy Advance, and also I emulate them on my phone all the time. Every phone I've ever had, I've emulated those games. So played them a little bit too much, but yeah, really been enjoying that. Speaking of lost GameCube games, though, I've also been playing Kirby Air Riders. I got that as a early birthday present from my sister, so that was cool. So I've been playing Kirby Air Riders. Kirby Air Ride on the GameCube is a very nostalgic game for me as well. I used to play that game all the time, and so I saw a reviewer. It was actually Beat 'em Ups. Shout out to Wood. He has great Nintendo content, but he was like, I don't know who Kirby Air Riders is for. This is such a niche, weird game. And the answer is it's for me because I'm very nostalgic about that first game. And now I can play Kirby Air Ride online, basically, which is cool. Obviously, the original GameCube game did not have online features. And you can still play. You can play City Trial online, which, if you don't know what City Trial is, they brought it into Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS as well, where basically you run around a big open world map and you try and get power ups. You try and power up your stats as much as you can. Various things like power up your flying ability or power up your boosting ability or what your top speed, whatever. And then at the very end of like 5 minutes, there will be a mini game. And then based on your stats, you'll do however well you do in the mini game and pan out. So it's very fun. You can also in that open world, everybody's on the same open world map, so you can also attack other players, and which will make them lose their power ups, and you can steal them from them, and you can blow up their little air rider boards so that they're running around as just Kirby on the map. And then if the round ends like that where they don't have a board, then they get the starter board, which sucks. So that's cool. And there's also a lot of content in the game where they added the Super Smash Brothers like window thing because Sakurai did work on this game. So I don't know if you know I'm talking about the windows like challenge things where when you do something like a challenge like breaks the glass and has like a bigger picture, and then you can see the things around what it broke through, like hints of what you can do next. Well, there's like 5 of those in this game. There's like one for each mode. So there's a lot to unlock. There's a lot of carts, or I guess air riders, whatever they're called, and characters that you can race as, and like little stickers and stuff you can get for your license, which is like your little display for when you race online. So it's really cool. It's a fun little game. Definitely give it a check it out if you like Kirby or you like kart racers at all. I think it's very fun. I'm a little disappointed that there's only 12 maps in the game though. There's 8 new ones and 4 returning ones. I wish there was a little more, to be honest. But I'm going to be spending the majority of my time in city trial mode anyway, so I don't really care that much. But yeah, a bit of a bummer. Because if they had more tracks, you could do like a Grand Prix and stuff. They do, which there is no Grand Prix mode, which is a little bit of a bummer. They do have a single player mode. I forget what it's called now, but basically you're like going down the road and you choose between one of 3 events. It could be like a race or a mini game or like a time trial or something. And then you do that and you get more power ups and you just keep going on this track. I've only played it for maybe about 45 minutes or an hour for that mode in particular. But it's cool. It's cool to see that they added some single player content into the game as well, at least a mode. So a lot of content in the game, surprisingly, for Kirby Air Riders, especially because the original game did not have a lot of content in it whatsoever. You had like the 8 maps and then the city trial mode, and that was pretty much it. So very fun game though, very nostalgic for me. So I've been enjoying that. And then the last game I've been playing is I'm still playing Street Fighter 6. Still popping that in every once in a while, playing some fights. But I also got the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection because I've never played a Street Fighter game before. Street Fighter 6 was my first Street Fighter, so I wanted to educate myself on like the history of the franchise and stuff. And so it has Street Fighter 1, 2, and 3, and lots of different variations of those games in the collection. So I was like, oh, what a quick and easy way for me to catch up on everything Street Fighter. And it's been fun trying to go back and learn the old motion,
Mm-hmm.
the old movements with Ken and stuff. But it's pretty fun, and you can play online as well. I wasn't able to find anybody on an online match. I waited for like 3 minutes and then I gave up. But you know, if somebody else has a copy, it's always good for multiplayer that way and stuff. And maybe if I'm more patient, I could find a match easier and stuff. But maybe I chose the wrong version too, because you can go online with 4 of the games. I think there's 12 games overall, but only 4 of them support online multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's maybe I chose not the most popular one at the moment. Um, but yeah, it was cool to play as Ken in Street Fighter 2 Turbo and try to learn that. Turbo indeed is a very fast game.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta really learn your inputs. Make sure you're putting them on time. But yeah, that's really all I've been playing. Been playing a lot of games, but that's been mostly it. Mostly been playing Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Like I said, I put a lot of time into that game. So, what about you? What have you been playing recently?
Man, I was a little worried. I thought I was gonna have a very empty week. I mean, I don't know. Didn't play too much, but I snuck in some games last night and this morning. One I'll talk about briefly is Plants vs. Zombies Replanted. um, Came out
Okay.
last year, I think. I do remember playing the original Plants vs. Zombies on Xbox 360 and enjoying it. And for those of you guys who don't know, essentially tower defense. You have 5 lanes. You got your zombies that will kind of come in eventually from the right hand side, and you were defending your lawn mostly, along with other levels on the left hand side with different flowers. So you can get resources from your sunflowers, and then you save up that currency to buy like pea shooters, or ones that shoot ice bullets, or ones that eat the zombies, or ones that provide a little bit more defensive stuff like that. And this has been my turn off your brain type game. Or at least that was my intention with it, because like I said, I did play it all the way through previously, and this is just kind of a remaster where they've cleaned some stuff up. I don't know if they've added new plants or if it's just my memory, because sometimes I'm getting plants or cards for the next one, and I'm like, I don't remember this one as well. But it's been a good time, a fun little nostalgia trip to play that. So hope to be continuing to do that. And then next, with what we're going to discuss next with the showcases, a demo was released for Onimusha, the new game. So I decided to try that out, because I'm not sure, like, I have a little bit of interest in it, but it's not like on the top of my list of like, I'm going to buy this game for sure. So I figured I should at least try the demo and see if maybe it does pique my interest. From what I will say of the game and the demo itself, the game's gorgeous, absolutely stunning. Graphically for what they have. Main character's very entertaining. Gameplay's good, but it wasn't anything where I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna make me want to buy said game. Now I've only played a little bit of the demo. I don't know if I played it more and got to like a boss fight or something like that, where that would kind of turn the tables. From what I played, it seems like it's just a solid third-person action game with your sword. You have a single-hand attack, a two-handed attack that you kind of use to work away at the enemy's stamina. Once you kind of get it down to a certain point, you could do like a finishing blow to them to get them eliminated. And then you have 2 parries, or dodges rather, that you can implement. One, you just do a standard block. If you time it well as a parry, you can parry. And then the other one, if you do the same timing as a parry, you kind of do like a shadow effect and kind of dodge to the back of the opponent. So it gives you an opening to attack them without having to worry about them breaking, your attacks with their guard or whatever. So yeah, like I said, visually very impressive, looks great. From a gameplay, it's just like, at least for me, just fine. But if you guys have been looking forward to Onimusha, the demo is out now, so you can check that out and kind of get a little bit of a preview. And I believe you also get some goodies if you have demo save file like on your console or platform of choice once the full release comes out. So you get some stuff for your efforts there. And then last one I'm going to give shout out to was my future game of last week. I did play a little bit of One Move Away. As a reminder, this is like unpacking, where you are essentially taking your items from your houses and stuff like that and packing them into vehicles as you are moving to a new location. I've played a few levels of it. I'm having a great time. It's another one where it's very turn off your brain vibe, figure out the puzzle of how you're gonna fit all this shit in the car type thing. It's been a good time so far. I've done a few different levels where it's also like unpacking, where there's kind of a story going on, but there's no spoken dialogue, at least that I've experienced so far, or subtitles or anything like that. It's more of like your character's at this stage of her life. She's moving from home to college or college to an apartment and stuff like that. And you're just kind of seeing those story elements through the items that you're packing. I will say, from a gameplay perspective, they do some really nice things to allow you to figure out these puzzles with moving. So essentially you pick up a item with one trigger, and then if you would like to, you have the option to rotate it and reorientate it any way you'd like. So you have that ability to kind of shift it, and there's no distinct way to solve the puzzle. You can be very creative with it, which I appreciate. It's not going to be like, you know, a jigsaw puzzle where it's like, nope, this piece has to go here and this one has to go here. So that's very nice that they give you that option. They also have depth that you can mess around with. So it's like your arms, if they were bent, you can have it this way where you're placing items, or if you want, they give you a reach, and it's not like you're reaching out fully and your arms are bent. You have this as a scale. So you can kind of mess around with how far you're reaching. If you want to try and fit something in like a little nook and cranny, you have that ability. That's been very nice. You can stack items very cleanly if it's like books or notepads or folders, and move it as one giant group if you would like to. And then there's also a feature where you can see through the item. So you can hold down a certain button and it almost becomes transparent. So you can kind of see, oh, no, I got to adjust it this way so it does fit a little bit neater instead of just going and colliding it over and over again. So that feature's been nice. And then on the other side of things, there is also a poke feature. So if you did want to push something and jam it a little bit, you can. When you don't have an item in your hand, if you use the left trigger, you'll see like a highlighted pencil almost in like a ghost spectral form next to items. Shows you which orientation you're going to push something. And then you can charge it up depending on how much force you want to do your shove in there. I've had a couple times where I'm like, oh, I shoved way too hard and something falls down and moves, and I'm like, no. There's also a very nice redo/undo feature. So if there is something where things fall down and you're like, no, I don't want to have to redo all of that, you can mess around with that. So it's difficult, and obviously that's the puzzle factor and trying to fit the allotted items into mostly the vehicles, but it's not going to be ripping your hair out in terms of like, I just set up all that and now I can't do this. I do appreciate that. I do want to also shout out the very cute and adorable way they did the tutorial in this game. So the very first level of the tutorial, you're a baby and you're just playing with blocks and putting the blocks in a toy truck as it shows you the different things that you're doing. I was like, oh, this is smart. I like this. So yeah, it's been a great time so far. I've looked through the trophies. There's some goofy ones, so you can kind of play around with it. Seems like the game's going to circle around 3 different characters and their journeys and like what they do in life and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to that. I've only played as the one character so far, so it seems like it will be these first 3 to 4 missions will be character A, the next 4 will be character B, and so on and so forth. So it might not be the longest game, but it's been a good time so far. I'm trying to think. I think there was one other thing I wanted to mention, but I'm blanking on it. Yep, it's not coming to mind. But One Move Away has been a good time. If you're looking for that puzzle, if you're looking for something that's unpacking like, or just kind of zone out, this would be a highly recommended game from me. But I've had a good time with it, so I appreciate that I obviously had the opportunity to play it to talk about this week. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. All right. That's going to wrap up what you've been playing. So let's move on to our mystery section that isn't well, maybe it's a mystery. It's the biggest or the worst kept secret ever. Summer Games Fest happened this past week, and there have been many showcases. So we're not going to cover all said showcases. We would be here for 3 to 4 hours going over everything. We highly recommend you guys go check out those showcases, whether it's Xbox, whether it's the State of Play, whether it's the main show of Summer Game Fest, whether it's Wholesome, whether it's Latin American games, whether it's Southeast Asian games, and the plethora of more that were available to you this last week. Go check out those showcases, see the releases, and see if there's anything that speaks to you specifically in terms of a release upcoming this year or next year. But what TJ and I are going to do here is we're going to kind of just go back and forth and talk about reveals that we saw at any of the showcases, highlight what we're excited for, maybe talk a little bit about why we're excited for it, go into whatever detail we would like to, and just gush about games. So TJ, why don't you kick us off? And these aren't in any ranking, at least on my end, what's something that you're looking forward to that you saw this past week?
Oh, guys, so much that I'm looking forward to. The thing I think I don't know. I got a tie between what I'm looking forward to most.
Sure.
But first thing I'll say I'm looking forward to most is Star Wars Zero Company, which is a game being made by XCOM devs, which is fun to say, XCOM, but there's XCOM devs formed a new studio and they're making Star Wars Zero Company, and it looks like it's an XCOM like game. And you can choose droids and lightsaber wielders and all other types of combatants and stuff to play in your squad, which is cool. They showed off Anakin Skywalker. It's in the middle of the Clone Wars and stuff. So very cool. Star Wars Zero Company quickly became one of my most anticipated games of the year out of nowhere.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I remember us seeing the reveal at the main show, and it was like, ooh, this looks really good, and it was a fun, nice, exciting announcement that seemingly was out of nowhere. My biggest concern as I talked to you on the live stream when we were live reacting to this is it going to be as difficult as XCOM? Because I enjoy the conceptual part of XCOM, but man, XCOM ripped me 8 assholes, and I don't want that to happen again. If it's more like a Midnight Suns, where like Midnight Suns has some challenge to it, but I felt that was much more manageable. If it's something like that, then I am fully invested, all in on this thing because it looked great.
Yeah, I think it'll hopefully be a little easier considering it's a Star Wars fandom, but
Sure.
Who knows? We'll have to see.
Yeah. All right, TJ, I'm going to cheat on this first one because I'm a big old cheater and I like doing that. These are Bret's, hey, TJ, I think you might like this game from potentially showcases that you did not watch. So I'm going to shout out a few here very quickly. I'll try and pull up Steam pages to give better descriptions, but if I miss any, I do apologize. I think I have 3 here. First one, we talked about the Star Fox 64 re-release coming up soon, and you mentioned, hey man, I really wish we could see what they would do in a modern setting, or rather like a new setting. What could we do in 2026 on a rail shooter? Well, indies are trying to give you that experience in Wild Blue Skies. This was from the Mix showcase. Over on Steam, it said Wild Blue Skies reimagines the classic on-rail adventures of the 90s. Join Bowie Stray and the Blue Bombers as they soar through the skies on a mission to save the world in this action-packed, nostalgic journey. This is coming from developers Chu Hai Labs and Vitae Backroom Incorporated, and published by Ballard Games, and is coming out August 13th. So yeah, another furry star or on-rail shooter. Next one for you, because you've been playing a fuck ton of fighting games lately, is a rogue-like fighting game called Polyfighter. The demo is out now. This is also coming from The Mix, and I'll pull up the page right now if I could type correctly.
As you pull that up, is that a fighting game where you fight your polycule? Is that what's happening? Is that what Polyfighter is?
No, I think it's just supposed to be polygons or whatever the fuck. I don't know. This from Steam. Polyfighter is a single-player roguelike fighting game. Learn new moves from every opponent you defeat to build your fighter's unique style. Battle through tense retro arcade duels with a choice of simple or motion inputs to master your moveset and claim your title. No release date on this just yet, but like I said, there is a demo out now, and this is being developed and published by Heartloop Games.
Yeah, it's actually, I'm pulling up the Steam page with you while you're introducing these games, and it does look really good. The art style looks pretty incredible, honestly, so really cool. Really cool concept. It looks like it's got the Slay the Spire style maps type situation where you choose your path and stuff, so I'm intrigued. I will download the demo for sure. I just added it to my wish list. So.
Very nice. And one more. This is coming from the Latin American Game Showcase. This is called Mindgen Renegades, and it's an Enter the Gungeon-like. From the Steam page, descend into the dangerous depths of Paimo on this co-op sci-fi roguelike bullet hell focused on resource gathering. Play solo or with friends as you fight, gather resources, and upgrade together. The deeper you go, the greater the risks, rewards, and secrets waiting beneath the surface. This is coming out July 14th of this year, and is developed and published by Kickstone Studio.
Okay, yeah. Also looks really good. The art style looks pretty impressive as well. So
yeah,
I'm interested. Yeah, I also added to my wish list. So nice. you got me.
All right, so that's my first entry / cheater, because it was 3 for you. So TJ, back to you. What's the next one you got?
Well, I just saw this one right before we started recording, and also wishlisted it immediately, and that would be the Doom DLC for Doom: The Dark Ages, Doom Revelations. I'm also very excited for this. It looks great. It looks like you can have a spear in your offhand instead of just a shield. So you're not parrying attacks anymore. You're just throwing you're just chucking a spear at people. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it looks incredible. It looks like there's a dash involved as well, and a hook. So it looks like they're infusing some of that Doom Eternal elements into Doom: The Dark Ages, which is great because I do miss dashing around in Doom Eternal. The movement feels good in that. But then in Doom: Dark Ages has a sprint button that Doom Eternal does not. So they both can take from each other. But if the Dark Ages has the sprint and the air dash, you're gonna feel super fast and ferocious, and it just looks incredible. So I'm super excited for it, and it comes out in exactly a month. It comes out July 7th. So that's really exciting. It'll be here before we know it. I'll be playing some Doom: The Dark Ages again. I'm probably gonna re-download that onto my hard drive tonight, just so that I have it ready to go for a month from now.
There you go. Yeah, that looked impressive. It was shown off at the Xbox showcase. And yeah, you mentioned the spear. The spear is like ripping people left and right. You can parry with it. I think he impaled somebody like through the eye, a giant demon. There was some interesting like story stuff that they showed where it was kind of almost Captain America-esque, where the shield got broken, and then at the back half it was like, oh, the shield's all better, it's fused. And like they had Doomslayer like fucking Mario jumping like ping, ping, like super high up, using all 3, the gun, the spear, and the shield. Looked really cool, and yeah, I'm happy for you. That looked very, very exciting. So cool and good. Shout out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, back over to me. Hi, I'm Brett, and I like to cheat. This next section is called Games I Want to Play with TJ. I got another 3 entries here. First one is called Castlebound. It's a 4-player, fast-paced roguelike with a Paper Mario-esque art style. This is coming from the Latin American Games Showcase. There is a demo out now. From their Steam page, fight hordes of evil monsters and defend your castle in this 1 to 4 player action platformer with roguelike elements, and is being developed and published by Ogre Pixel. So yeah, it looked very cute in an art style, and I know we like our roguelikes, so I thought that could be a fun one.
Yeah, it looked like almost like stickers, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Next one is from the main Summer Games Showcase, and you mentioned it on stream. An extremely hard game. You mentioned us playing this together. You're 2 ducks, and you're carrying a nest, and you got your egg on the nest, and you got to traverse these platform levels of hell to keep the egg safe. Yeah, it looks like a fun time. I don't know if we'll be able to keep our sanity carrying said egg, but it might be fun for some laughs. Should be a good time.
It might end this podcast, but for science, we'll have to try it out.
It's been a good run. And then the last one that I'm going to shout out came from the Day of the Devs showcase, and this one is called Lazy River. From the Steam page, Lazy River is a co-op adventure at the galaxy's most unregulated water park. Some guy peed in the pool, and the pee mixed with the space water and turned everybody into zombies, except you and your friends. Build a raft, ride down the Lazy River, and escape before you run out of hot dogs. This is being developed by Mike, Kevin, Jake, Joel, and Carly, and published by Mike Boxleader. This looks like the fun kind of chaotic energy that games recently like Peak has given us, and Crash Out Crew. This just looks like a very crazy survival type game with your buddies, with a obviously very obscure setting. So I couldn't help but laugh at it. I thought it was a good time, and I want to check it out down the road.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a lot of fun. I'm definitely getting Peak vibes from it, so I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah,
with that, especially even in the art style.
Yeah.
Getting some Peak vibes for sure. Looks great.
Yeah, and shocker, I'm a liar. I did have one more. This one is called Duo Quest. I believe this also came from Day of the Devs, but I did not copy it from my notes. From Steam, dive into the fantasy world where your bond is your greatest weapon. Team up with a friend to battle monsters by answering quirky and thought-provoking questions about each other while building decks and exploring an ever-changing world. Can your relationship survive the ultimate test? This is being developed by 1+1 Studios and published by Rising Tide. But another case of, hey, we like roguelikes. We both share our love of Slay the Spire. Thanks for sharing that once again with me. But yeah, this is important because you play side by side with somebody, and every once in a while in your battle, you'll just get these random like personal questions, and you guess like one person answers it, and the other person has to say what the person will say, what their answer will be, and if you match, you get like buffed cards to help you with the fight, or you get things that go against you. So I thought maybe this would be a fun thing to stream with you to kind of, just have some fun.
So it's Slay the Spire plus the marriage game. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Great.
Indeed. All right, TJ, back over to you.
Yeah, those games sound like a lot of fun. Last time I mentioned a DLC, and I'm going to mention another DLC. Tifa from Final Fantasy VII is in Street Fighter 6. That is really cool. They announced the year 4 for Street Fighter 6. It included 3 new characters never before seen in Street Fighter, and Tifa. Bosch was one of the characters as well, and if you've played World Tour in Street Fighter 6, you will recognize Bosch from that mode. But otherwise, the other 2 characters are completely brand new. And Tifa is not brand new. She's been around for a little while in video game world. But very cool that we're getting a Final Fantasy crossover with Street Fighter. That's really cool. The devs, they didn't show any gameplay or anything, but the devs during the showcase did say they're going to use materia somehow. So that's interesting. We'll have to see what they do for her kit. Maybe they'll make it like really cool and complex or something. So we'll have to see. But it looks like she's going to be the last one for this year. Maybe. I don't know. That she's the last one revealed. I don't know if that's going to be the order in which they come out, or
Right.
if maybe she'll come out around the time of Final Fantasy. We'll talk about that later.
A
But
certain
around the
title.
time, yeah, of a different game that's coming out.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll come out around that time. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that was a very fun moment to react to with you. Of Tifa coming out. I'm not sure. I'm sure you've seen it, but there's clips of Max's reaction, obviously. But I love when content creators that you watch acknowledge other content creators that you watch. So I saw on TikTok, I don't know if you know of Ray Narvaez Jr.
Hmm.
No, okay. He was formerly of Rooster Teeth, and then he left and went into the streaming thing like years and years ago. But I saw a TikTok of his where he's like, "Oh, that's really cool. Wait, hold on. Yeah, yeah, you can hear him from across the country. That's Max's reaction." And then someone just cut in Max going, "Ah!" You know, it's just like, I love it. I just love that everybody's so happy that people are, happy and excited. It's just those moments that make me all happy and fuzzy and warm on the inside. So yeah, good stuff there. My thought and feeling would be she would be the last DLC, but that's more of just like, she's the most popular out of this four, the anticipation type thing, and what I feel like other guest characters of kind of how their rollout has been. But that is a good point. Maybe they want to capitalize on the release of something else and kind of release coinciding. Who knows? Time will tell.
Yeah, also last week on the podcast, I covered a story where I said that Street Fighter 6 is more popular than ever, had
Mm-hmm.
the most concurrent Steam users. When Tifa comes out, it's gonna shatter that record for sure. There's no fucking shot. It's not even close.
Nah, no chance. All right, my next game is from Day of the Devs, and it is called Mr. Records. From the Steam page. Excuse me. Meet George, an old dreamer with an extraordinary gift that lets him transcend through music. After a lifetime of standing still, he breaks free from routine and opens the store he always wished for. This is being developed by Glee Cheese Studio and published by Wired Productions. So this is a nice mishmash of game styles. You're George here, this old man, and it's a kind of fast-paced, like rhythmic platformer, I think, on one end of it. And then on the other side, he manages a record store, which if you've been listening these past few weeks, I've been on a music game kick. So I'm like, oh, this looks fucking great.
Yeah.
So it looks adorable. And yeah, I like the rhythm style games, as we've talked about. So taking those two of the management and, the action paced stuff behind it and putting them together kind of reminds me of Moonlighter a lot, where you do the store management and then you do the dungeon crawling at night.
Right.
So I'm really vibed with this game and definitely the art style of it. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Back to you.
For me, I'm surprised you haven't shouted this one out yet, but it's Resident Evil Veronica. Started off Summer's Game Fest with this, which was pretty crazy. Watching on your live stream, you called it out to me. You're like, "Is this the Resident Evil engine? What's going on?" And I was like, "No, there's no way. Resident Evil 9 just came out. There's no way that they would announce another Resident Evil game. It's another Resident Evil game. It's Resident Evil Veronica. So they are remaking Code Veronica. They must have like 6 internal teams at Capcom or something, the way that they develop games. But there are some rumors around the internet as well that it's going to be semi-open world.
Oh,
So that's pretty interesting. I've never played Code Veronica before, so I don't really have any attachment to the original game. So they could do whatever the fuck they want with this, and I will be on board because I won't know any difference. Kind of just like how everyone is mad at the Resident Evil 3 remake for cutting out sections of the original Resident Evil 3, but I never played the original Resident Evil 3, so it didn't matter to me. I didn't notice.
yeah, I didn't realize that was a thing. Whoops.
Yeah, they cut out a whole section. Yeah, that's why a lot
Oh,
of people prefer the original Resident Evil 3 because there's more content in it.
hmm.
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, so hopefully it's not that situation Resident Evil Veronica. I hope that it is a beefier section. I hope it's a good like 12-hour game. That would be awesome.
Sure.
Be very excited for that. So I'm really looking forward to it, and it's coming out on the Switch too. It's coming out on all platforms, but it's coming out on the Switch too. So that's pretty exciting. So you can play
Definitely.
Resident Evil 7, 8, 9, and Veronica now on the Switch too.
Very cool. All right, I'm going to keep on the indie train for at least a bit longer. My next game is coming from the mix, and this game is called Pixel Washer. From the Steam page, this is it says, grab your power washer and scrub pixelated worlds squeaky clean. Play as an adorable piggy, blast away grime, upgrade your gear, and restore a grubby town to its former glory in this cozy, almost zen-like game. It's being developed by Valandria and published by Acclaim Incorporated. Yeah, you're just a pig, and it's like top-down power wash simulator. And I'm like, fuck yeah, say less. It looks adorable. So I was like, okay, you're speaking my language. I'm in. Let's go pig with the goggles. Let's clean up some grime.
Very cool.
Over to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with another adorable character as well. You're talking about adorable pig. Here's something adorable. Alien Isolation 2, the adorable xenomorph. Everybody loves H.R. Geiger's hellish nightmare that is the xenomorph. Yeah, I can't believe they're actually making a sequel to this game. It makes sense. I think the first game was pretty successful. Again, another Switch 2 release. The first Alien Isolation was a miracle on the Switch 1. It runs very well, and it like incredibly well on the Switch 1. So you'll be able to play the first and second Alien Isolation games on Nintendo's platform now. But more than just it being coming to the Switch 2, I'm just Switch 2 brained at the moment. More than that, it just looks really good. It looks like there's some outdoor elements to it. So it's a little less claustrophobic than the original one, but I'm sure it'll still be claustrophobic at times when you're going into like the spaceports and stuff. But it reminds me of the evolution of the Alien franchise itself, where you're stuck on a single ship in the first Alien movie, and you're stuck on a single ship in the first Alien Isolation game, and then in Aliens you kind of go to that colony planet where you get the whole planet and you get more world building, and it looks like the Alien Isolation 2 is following suit in that regard. So. Very cool. I'm really looking forward to it. I'd never finished the first game because it was too scary, but I'll give it another shot before the second one comes out, and I'll definitely be looking forward to trying the second one for sure.
Nice. All right, next game for me. I believe this also was Day of the Devs. I didn't copy it. If you guys like murder mysteries, like movies like Knives Out or I don't know, other stuff like that, welcome to Apple Crumble. It's your grandma's 84th birthday party, and nobody is trying to murder her. I don't know why it says nobody. It should say somebody. Stop suspecting your family members and don't worry about the strange man in your bedroom. A new, creepy, cozy mystery thriller from the creators of Duck Detective. So it's being developed and published by Happy Broccoli Games. Yeah, this looks insane because it's all cute art style, but then you're like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on. There's a murder mystery going on here. So it looks goofy. It looks fun. Like I said, if you like Knives Out, this is pretty much just like another kind of story just like that of the whodunit or Clue type deal. Happy Broccoli Games, I've heard a lot of good stuff about their titles. Duck Detective, The Ghost of Glamping, and then Salami something, I don't remember. I've been meaning to play those, but I haven't yet. But every time I see their titles, I'm like, oh, that looks fun. It's got a cute vibe, stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to this one and trying to figure out the puzzle of who done it.
Yeah, that's cool. I like Knives Out, so you're talking to me. But I also like classic Agatha Christie stuff like Death on the Nile and stuff like that. So the Murder on the Orient Express, things of that nature. So that sounds pretty cool. Sounds like it might be right up my alley, actually.
Yeah.
Um, a game that is definitely right up my alley is Star Wars Galactic Racer. Playing a lot of racing games lately with Mario Kart World and Kirby Air Riders, but excited for another one. Excited for Star Wars Galactic Racer. It looks really cool. It looks like there's a story mode that they revealed in the game. So that's pretty cool for a racing game to have some more in-depth single player content and like a story mode. That's pretty cool. So I was already hyped for the game, and now I'm just even more hyped that they've shown it off a little bit more. And like I said, looks like there's some story content in it. So that's pretty cool. And there's Sebulba. So
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, a story involved with that. That should make it a more interesting, because I thought, yeah, it was just going to be more arcadey like the old N64 one, but
Mhm.
intrigued what story they're trying to tell. I wonder if we'll get any more fun cameos, or if Sebulba's just going to be the main one because he's, the pod racer dude.
Yeah,
We'll have to see.
definitely have to see.
All right, I think I'm going to start skirting more towards the AAA side of things. This was revealed from the Xbox showcase today and really caught my attention. It's called The Magicians, The Devil's Deal, and this looked very much... I was kind of getting Bioshock vibes, I was kind of getting Dishonored vibes, but the way they presented it, or the story is rather, is you're a magician that's dealing with the devil, as the title would say, and you're trying to escape hell, I guess. From the Steam page, Magicians, The Devil's Deal is a narrative-driven first-person shooter where stage magic becomes real. You play as Jacob Menturo, a fallen illusionist bound by a pact with the devil and cast into hell. Master deadly tricks, steal the powers of rival magicians, and escape the infernal world of Theaterland. Release date is 2027. It's being developed by Uppercut PTY Ltd. Oh boy. And published by Focus Entertainment. So yeah, looks phenomenal. And then there's that thing with the Xbox showcases where you're like, I don't know what's coming to my platform of choice. And this one had the PlayStation 5 logo at the end. So I was like, yes. So looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
No, this game looks great. I can definitely see the Dishonored comparison when it comes to the especially the way the people look, the
Yeah.
cel shaded aspects of them more artistically rendered. But so yeah, the enemies look really creative. All the powers and stuff that you see in the gameplay trailer is very creative as well. Like he's got like the classic magic wand where it's like black with the white tips. I saw him like he like reversed the he, like flipped everything upside down at
Yep.
one point. He like opened a book and stuff, turned somebody into like flowers and stuff. There's a bunch of really cool stuff that's happening. So I was really impressed with this game. When I saw it, even my friend messaged me and was like, the Magician's game looks great, right? And I was like, yes, yes, absolutely. Magician's game looks fantastic. So I can't wait till that comes out. Yeah, good shout out there for sure.
Thank you.
Another game from the Xbox showcase that I really wanted to see was Clockwork Revolution. I've been waiting for them to update us on Clockwork Revolution for a while now. It's one of my most anticipated games. I don't really like steampunk or Clockwork Worlds, really, but this one intrigues me a little bit because it plays so much like BioShock. I'm really intrigued to see what they can do with that concept and world. So they gave us a pretty decent amount of updates today. They did say it was 2027 though, so that was a bit of a bummer. At first, it said coming out in due time,
Yeah.
and I thought that's what they're gonna leave it as, and I was a little disappointed. And then they said 2027, so I'm like, okay, well at least it's a year and a half time frame that we can expect this game out. So it should be coming out kind of soonish. We'll see, comparatively. So hopefully that is far away in development. But yeah, just glad to see an update on that game after so long where it's been radio silent.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one too. I think it might have been announced at last year's Summer Games Fest area. But immediately it was another one. Yeah, I was like, oh, this looks really cool. The BioShock vibe, stuff like that. Yeah, it's console exclusive, and they made sure to reacclimate or re-say that today. So I'm a bit bummed, where I'm like, I want to play it, but I don't know if it's enough to push to be like, okay, I'm gonna go get an Xbox Series, to go play this. So, um, cool. Looking forward to seeing more, but I don't know if I'll be getting my hands on this one at any time soon.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a system seller, but it is cool.
Right, right. All right, this one is coming from Jeff Keighley's show in Summer Game Fest. This one is called 1666 Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
From the Steam page, every 333 years, something stirs. 1666 Amsterdam is a third person, dark, story led action adventure where Noah, the collector, wields witchcraft to uncover demonic entities hiding behind human faces. Investigate by day, face your demons at night. This is being developed and published by Panache Digital Games. Yeah, so it's kind of playing on the witchcraft lore of, like, you know, the witch trials and whatnot of old and things like that. I really like the vibe of it and the dark aesthetic. There's also some kind of teases of like present day stuff. Even one of the screenshots on Steam is like a hotel that the characters are outside of. I
Yeah.
believe this is a former developer of Assassin's Creed, because I believe there's also some drama, if you research on the internet, about that and like how he hasn't been able to release this game or say anything about it for a while for reasons I don't know. Don't want to get into details and misspeak. But cool to see it here, and I'm excited. At least on the Steam page, it says no release date announced. I would assume that's true. I thought we might have seen something at the end of the trailer, but nothing here. But looks very, very cool.
Yeah, looks great. Another really good looking game for sure. Did he say how it was like in development for like a very long time or something?
He did say that. Yeah, it's been a while that they've been working on this. I can look it up while you go into your next one.
Yeah, well, it looks like they cooked with it for sure. Um, a game that's stylistically could vibes wise be kind of tangentially related to Amsterdam 1666 is Castlevania Belmont's Curse. Um, looks like we're going back to some classic 2D Castlevania with a female protagonist. Looks really cool. Very excited for it. She is a Belmont as well. So yeah, I'm just excited to jump back into a classic Castlevania adventure. I'm hoping that it's like Symphony of the Night and it's you know, Metroidvania style. I think that would be really cool if they did a modern take on that. So we'll have to see.
Very cool. Going back to 1666, very briefly, there is a 30-minute prologue demo available right now on Steam, and Epic, if you guys are interested in it. And then to
Wow.
answer your development question, Patrice Desilets, I believe I'm saying that correctly, but who knows? Creator of Assassin's Creed, or at least worked on it. Oh, well, no, it just says the creator of Assassin's Creed. Helped on working on Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. Let's see. He started working on 1666 Amsterdam with THQ Montreal around I can read 2011 and 2012. Before that studio went bankrupt, Ubisoft purchased the studio and its properties at auction. Desilets was promptly let go again without rights to his project. By 2016, Desilets regained rights to the project, and work once again began in earnest to develop the project with his new studio, Panache Digital Games. So yeah, it's been in work for 10 plus years.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like he took that time to cook
Yeah.
because the game looks incredible. So
All right, next one I believe was at the Sony State of Play, and it is just simply titled Ill. A realistic first-person action horror game that takes you into a dark fort overtaken by a mysterious entity. Unpredictable monsters, a visceral dismemberment system, and realistic physics create an atmosphere of relentless terror. Release date just says 2027, developed and published by Team Clout Incorporated. This game looks very impressive and unsettling. I do not know if I will be brave to play this game, but I cannot deny what it captures, and I wanted to shout it out because holy crap, it looks cool in all the worst ways possible.
yeah, it looks very brutal, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
very dark, but very cool. I was also intrigued by that game for sure. Very good looking game. I've only got 3 games left that I wrote down at
Okay.
least that I was super excited about. And they're pretty obvious ones except for maybe one of them. But yeah, Gears of War Emergence Day. They kicked off the Xbox showcase with that, so that was pretty cool. Glad to see more of that. It was interesting to see Gears not in their armor.
Yeah.
They're just like in street clothes, which is the pistol. It was a little bizarre. And then using the old school Lancer where it doesn't have the chainsaw, it just has the knife on the end. That was pretty cool to see as well. So yeah, I like in Gears Tactics, which is my favorite Gears game for sure. It kind of deals with the first emergence of the Locust as well. So it'll be cool to see Marcus Phoenix, like his take on the emergence events and like what happened when everything went to shit. So I'm pretty excited for it. I know you won't be excited to play it because it is a console exclusive for Xbox again. And I don't know if your PC can run it, so
Probably not, but who knows?
we could try.
Yeah.
We could try it. But yeah, it looks really cool. Makes me want to go back and play Gears Reloaded, honestly.
Hmm. Yeah, like you mentioned, I'm a bit bummed because it seemed like all signs were pointing to maybe this being released on PlayStation as well, with Gears Reloaded making it multi or cross console or whatever the fuck that you want to call it, multi-platform. That's what it is. Um, but they put a kibosh to those rumors immediately, where they're like, "Hey, this is console exclusive. Okay, now look at it." And everybody, oh, so yeah, it seems like Xbox and Asha, I don't remember. New CEO or project director of Xbox is like, they're pivoting hard, and they're like, all right, we got to get back to focusing on us and building us up, which I think their showcase overall today, like they crushed it. They kicked it out of the or blew it out of the water, kicked it out of the water. Jesus Christ, dude. They did an amazing job. So far, signs seem to be in the right direction. Hopefully, they can land the ship, and this isn't just another fumble, unfortunately.
Yeah, maybe yeah, they can use Gears of War Emergence Day to start bolstering up that exclusivity on Xbox, but we'll have to see.
Yep. All right. You mentioned only having a few left, so I might keep one of these for my future game, so I don't like repeat myself type of deal. I would like to shout out Insomniac's Wolverine, because we got a lot of gameplay reveal for it, and we got a release date announced of September 15th. So, woohoo! September gets more packed and exciting. Maybe you want to take the whole month of September off so you can play all the games that are coming out then, but teach their own. So Wolverine, the gameplay looked amazing. Very, very bloody. There are options apparently to turn that off, so I do appreciate their accessibility of like, hey, this isn't for you, you can tone that down type of thing. But we got a decent chunk of gameplay shown off as Logan is trying to save some mutants, some kids being taken, one of them being Leech, so a little Easter egg there. And we also did get the fun reveal of Jean Grey hopping in there and doing some side-by-side combat with Wolverine. To the extent of what she's involved in this story, obviously time will tell. There's been some news coming out post-release, which I feel is a little spoilerish, so I don't know if I want to talk about it here per se. But yeah, the world is built a certain way, and I'm curious to see how the Wolverine story plays out, and what it will build to do for like future titles if they decide to make a Wolverine 2 or something like that. But yeah, I want to give it that shout.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely forgot that the PlayStation State of Play we haven't
It was
discussed.
Tuesday. It was a while ago.
Yeah, there's a lot of games for the PlayStation State of Play that I haven't. So I just added one more game to my
That's totally good.
to
Yeah.
my list. But just wanted to shout out as well. Persona 6 finally got revealed. They didn't show shit.
What do you mean? We
They
got a
didn't show a
graveyard.
darn thing. Yeah, they showed a graveyard. They didn't show a darn thing. So it looks like potentially it could be a little bit of a darker Persona game, but really can't tell because there's really not a lot shown off. So I think they were just showing that it is in fact it does exist. They're working on it. So
Yeah, it had some creepy vibes. I was like, wow, they're definitely going for something different, at least from what I remember of obviously seeing of the other ones of like the high school stuff, and obviously 5 Year the Thieves and whatnot. But I was like, what? All the graveyard build, the kind of spooky imagery before the reveal of P6 and the title. I was like, what are you going for? Like, obviously they always deal with the personas, which are demon-esque and stuff, but man, creepy. Very creepy.
yeah, very creepy, very creepy. So Persona 3 Reloaded is pretty dark, or just Persona 3 in general. It's just a pretty dark game, but we'll have to see how dark they go.
Yep. I talked about this game a while ago, but Unseen Tokyo finally had a gameplay reveal for the game Kamuri. I should have pulled up the Steam page while you were talking about the last game. But Kamuri, it's a 1, 2, 3 player game. Oh, Steam doesn't have a page for it. Shit. It's a 1 to 3 multiplayer game where you are taking out yokai, I believe, in the city. I really like what the main person in charge of the studio did with Ghostwire Tokyo. I really like the art style there. So since she's left that studio, I've been kind of following her and her new team at Unseen Tokyo and looking forward to this game for a while. But seeing the gameplay here has me a little worried because I don't want it to be Monster Hunter-esque, where it's good, but it doesn't fully click with me. But I'm willing to give it a chance. So this is coming from their website directly. Welcome to Kamuri City, the city closest to the other side. Kamuri is an all-new original IP from Unseen, created by artists and developers from around the world, as the cat sits in front of the screen. Born from the collision of different cultures, values, instincts, and creative visions, Kamuri is a game that only Unseen could bring to life. Players become yokai hunters and use the Fox Window, a power that lets them see what ordinary people cannot, to uncover the hidden anomalies lurking within Kamuri City. By forming contracts with yokai and wearing their powers as possession apparel, players can change their appearance, their combat style, and the way they move through the city. Run through a chaotic vertical city where life and death, reality, and the paranormal overlap. Alone or with up to 2 friends in online co-op, where there is Kamuri, yokai will surely follow. How will you hunt the unseen? So yeah, looking forward to it. It still seems like it's a ways away, unfortunately, but glad to see we got another look at it.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool game. Next game I have is just Crazy Taxi. They're making another Crazy Taxi game, and that's pretty exciting. It looks really good. It's coming out on all platforms, including Switch 2. What was the subtitle of it? I believe it was called World Tour. It was like,
Yeah.
yeah, so it looks like there's going to be several different maps across the world. I've never really played Crazy Taxi in extensive amounts, so I don't know if previous titles had different areas like that, or if it was just like the one hub area, the one map. So that's a cool evolution, if not. But yeah, I think I'm definitely willing to dive into Crazy Taxi. It's like a legendary series. People talk about it all the time, so I'd be willing to give it a chance and try out this new game for sure.
Very nice. What do I want to pick? It's Wolf Among Us 2. It got a follow-up. It got an announced date for 2027, and they also surprised us with Wolf Among... I can't read today. Wolf Among Us 1 Remaster, which is coming out holiday of this year. Played the original, oh boy, 7, 8, 9 years ago at a friend's recommendation. Absolutely loved it. It's a choice-based narrative game based on fables, so stories like Snow White, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, things of that nature, but a very dark, grim version of them, where you are Bixby, the big bad wolf, who's like the detective, and you're kind of trying to solve crimes that are happening around the city. Now, since it's been 9 years since playing it, I don't remember much of said story. I would like to replay it. I don't know if it will be replayed in this remaster or just the base game or whatever. But I absolutely do remember loving my time with it. And now that we're getting a long-awaited sequel, I'm excited. I know there's some drama with the Telltale devs. I don't know full details, but you see things from time to time, and I'm like, uh-oh. So take it with a grain of salt. Do what you feel is right. But I'm looking forward to this game, and hopefully it is a good time.
Absolutely. And the last game, there's 2 games that were like the 2 biggest announcements, I would
Sure.
say, of all the showcases. But I'll leave one of them because it's a PlayStation one for you. The other one is Final Fantasy VII Revelation. Absolutely got announced, the third one. So it's the conclusion to the remake trilogy, which is very exciting. They did say it's going to be released on all platforms at the same time, which is also very exciting. No more timed exclusive on PlayStation. Um, And also, it's coming to the Switch 2 day and date, which is very exciting. The second one, which I forget, is it Final Fantasy 7
Rebirth.
Rebirth? Rebirth, yes. That is the second one. That just came to Switch this week.
Oh
So,
wow.
our Switch 2 this week. So, very cool. I've played like 15 hours of the first one, got stuck and quit. So I think I'm going to restart it again on the Switch 2, and then hopefully play Rebirth before the third one comes out, and then I can join everybody in enjoying that game when it comes out, when it gets announced or when it gets released. Sorry. So very cool that it was announced. I'm glad that they're wrapping that up. So we can see what else Square Enix can work on, but also because it's going to be very cool. I think it's going to be very big game. It looks like they said it was going to be like an open world type situation as well, and you can just like jump out of the plane and shit.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. So, um, yeah, just looking forward to the whole franchise. It's very cool that it was announced.
Yeah, I agree. Very excited for this one. Final Fantasy VII has been in my backlog for a long time, as we might have talked about in the past. Whether it is the original or the remake, I played a decent chunk of remake, and then I played the original recently up until what I think would start Rebirth, or when you exit Midgard. So yeah, this is more of like a lot of people are excited, and I want to kind of be part of that and get the FOMO a lot of times when people talk about these experiences. So
Hmm.
now to see that third part is out, it's like really hitting of like I should play these, and even if I'm not necessarily playing this when it launches in spring, at least kind of being caught up and stuff with that, or like ready. Because I like a lot of the characters and I'm intrigued by the story. It's just for some reason I just always jump off of it. Not because it's bad, it's just my dumb brain of like how I hop from thing to thing. And yeah, I was showing off the Rebirth copy. I'm sure maybe the mic's picking up a little bit. It's still in its packaging fully, but I got this soon after launch, and yeah, it's like one of those things that just looms over my shoulder, literally. And like, why aren't you playing me? Um, so looking forward to Revelations. Um, Happy for everyone who is a Final Fantasy VII fan who's been waiting for this a long time. We talked about Max earlier. He's got all of his theories and stuff like that, which I haven't watched any of his playthroughs because I also want to experience the story for myself. But that's another thing of like, I want to know from somebody who knows the lore deep, like what they think of the changes, what do they think of the modifications and whatnot. I had a podcast ages ago with a guest, shout out to Uber Brent, where he was talking about it, but he was very kind of like, hey, you haven't played this. Let's talk about it without getting into spoiler territory. And it just, that was another layer of like, I'm really intrigued to know what changes have been made from a story element. I joked about it on the live stream, like, oh, well, I guess one major story point wasn't changed because I'm like, oh, where are you? But
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to see how they made it fun and exciting for a newer audience with this retelling instead of just, point to point, oh, it's a bigger expanded thing, graphics, want to see what else they've added to it. So Revelations, yes, a very exciting announcement to be had here. So I appreciate you keeping that one, and that I'll keep for my future game, because like I said, I don't want to double dip here. So the last one I'll talk about was over on social media for us, because I quickly highlighted it and edited it out. Marvel Tokan released the Knights of Doom, and we got the confirmation of Magneto, but more importantly, the heavily rumored Carnage, and one I will take full credit, even though it's not the case of speaking into existence, but Green Goblin is making his appearance with glider and without. Very exciting to see that. We do still have one full team left to be announced, and that is Ghost Rider's team. So I'm really intrigued. I kind of forgot Ghost Rider was in this, no offense. But like, why'd they keep him for last? What connections are we going to be drawing with Ghost Rider? Do you have any predictions? You think Moon Knight? Okay.
Moon Knight, please. I'm thinking the Midnight Suns, Blade, get Ghost Rider, Blade, Moon Knight, and I don't know who else they throw in there, but yeah, it would be very cool. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I don't know who else could be on Ghost Rider's team besides like a Midnight Suns type team. He doesn't really team up with people usually, so we'll have to see.
I think you're right. So yeah, Evo, I
Yeah.
believe, is next month at some point. And the release date for the main game, excuse me, is August. We got official key art and stuff like that they've put up and uploaded on storefronts. So you can check that out. Yeah, I'm getting more excited. The story content that they teased here as well. I'm like, oh, who's this person? Who's this person? Why are they kind of messing around with things? So should be a good time. But yeah, that was the Summer Game Showcases. Obviously, highlights for us. We highlighted a lot of games here. If there's anything that did catch your attention, whether we talked about it or something you saw in the showcases, like I said, there was a plethora of them, and we definitely did not talk. We only talked a small fraction of games that were announced. Please go wishlist them on Steam, on your console of choice, just so you don't forget about them, and you can show your support that way before their full launch. And then I will say I liked and appreciated that a lot, if not all, of these titles were within 6 months. It seemed like even if they had the 2027 release date, it's like, okay, that's not too far away. I don't think we saw anything where we joked about like, oh, it's coming in 8 years. You know, like there's a few things, like I mentioned, Kamuri doesn't have a full finalized release date or year, but I like that a lot of it was it's coming soon. And as I joked about earlier, fucking September is packed. So yeah, I don't want to hear anybody complaining that there's no games to play. Open your damn eyes, folks. There's plenty from AAA, AA to independent. So go show your support.
Too many games to play, honestly.
Yeah. So we're going to move into our last section, which is what are you looking forward to in the future, my guy? Or what are you looking forward to playing next, whether it's your backlog or a future release? TJ, what do you got for us today?
Well, I could honestly put any of the games that we talked about on this future this future section. I'm excited for a lot of games. So I'm very excited for Star Wars Zero Company, but I've already talked about that, so I don't want to like double dip like you were talking about. I do want to, even though I alluded to it a little bit, but Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm actually really excited to jump back in. Like I said, I played it for maybe like 10 to 15 hours. The combat, I was kind of didn't really grab me as much as I wanted it to. I think I was struggling. There was a little bit of friction there between me and the gameplay systems, but I'm excited to give it another chance, especially playing it in like handheld mode or on the TV. I think is going to be a big game changer. So I'm excited to give it another shot. I'm so excited to get into the franchise and stuff because I love playing as Sephiroth in Super Smash Brothers. I love the characters and stuff. I want to play as Tifa in Street Fighter 6. So I want to learn everything I can about these characters. I want to go on this experience, this journey with them. And it is a gap in my gaming knowledge and history. So I've never really gotten into Final Fantasy, any of them at large. So I feel like the Final Fantasy VII Remake games would be a great way to do so. And of course, I got to start with the first one. So got to get back in there with that and then play Rebirth. So
yeah, I almost wonder if we should do like, what's it called? Like a video game book club where you and I both are playing it and like we could talk about it at some point, but obviously we got a lot going on. So maybe something, even if we just do it not on podcast, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. And then me, what do I want to play next? Boy, howdy, I want to play this right fucking now, TJ. Hate to all the haters. You just are not happy that women are powerful and are whooping ass. Because God of War, Laufey, however the fuck you say it, God of War Freya has my number one spot of I want to play this game. This was my biggest reveal of the Summer Games Showcase. This was at the State of Play. They showed it right at the end, and then they said, oh wait, we don't want to just show it, we want to show you 20 minutes of gameplay from the beginning of this game. Incredible to see. We see Freya kind of getting cremated, and see her little spectral self kind of go into the afterlife where she wakes up in the Everywen, I believe is what it's called, and it's an afterlife for fallen gods. We see her stumble into here, and she's kind of freaking out, worried about Kratos and Atreus, and she gets captured, unfortunately, and she runs into the Egyptian and Mongolian gods of war. very cool to see her combat abilities early on, whether it was the kind of jabroni sword that she first used, and then eventually like the main weapon that seems like she'll be using in the full game. Like, she's just going right at it. She's flipping and dipping, twisting, turning, doing all these amazing things. And on top of that, also has her magic abilities. Looks very cool. We got a fun and goofy reveal of Jack Quaid as a gelatinous cube, which is going to be like your ally for this game. But there's a lot of cool fantasy elements to it, with this being the afterlife for fallen gods. So you're getting all these different kind of what's the terminology, deities, cultures kind of like mashed together all in this one zone, and it just makes it really appealing of like, what are we going to run into? There's a lot of speculation since this game has dropped of like, oh shit, are we going to run into the Greek gods that Kratos kind of murdered in the original God of War run, and have to deal with a little bit of that aftermath? And then, while fan theories sometimes are a little like, I don't know if that lines up, there's a lot of questions to be answered. We see a tease of Kratos here helping Freya up at one point. I don't know if it's actually him or if it's just a vision, but people are tying that into an event of the second game, which gets a little questionable of like time continuity. But then there's speculation. I can't remember, TJ. Did you play Ragnarok or no?
No, I did not play Ragnarok.
So I'm going to avoid anything from there. But from the first God of War game, there's speculation now of like, there was that big mystery of who blew the horn for the World Serpent. To be honest, like, I put that out of my memory, but now that this is kind of back in the discussion pieces, and it seems like this was in the plans for a long time, like, that blows my mind that they planned this far ahead, almost like an early MCU type thing, where I'm like so ramped up and excited to see how Freya's journey plays out, but then how it crosses over to Kratos and Atreus' stuff. If she somehow escapes this afterlife and makes it back, like, what's that gonna lead to down the line when we do go back to Kratos' games? Oh man, the adrenaline is pumping, man. I'm really excited for this one.
Yeah, it looks really good. I was very excited for you when I saw it announced. I was like, "Oh, I know that's that's some of your favorite games." So I knew you were gonna be excited.
Yeah.
But I will not play it though because it's a woman. So I'm just
I
not
know.
gonna.
You son of a
That's
gun.
it's not just a woman. It's Deborah Ann Wall.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. That's really cool. I'm a big fan of Deborah Ann Wall, from Daredevil stuff to her stuff with D&D. So to see her be get such a big role here for God of War Laufey, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and screw the haters. I don't understand it.
Yeah. So yeah, no release date was confirmed for this one. I did see some speculation, I believe, from Jason Schreier, saying, I don't think it's that far off. Sony may just be pushing like Wolverine and that marketing for right now and making sure they push the sales as much as they can for the September release, but maybe this would be a holiday or early 2027, which, if is the case, it's gonna be great. I mean, like we talked about, it was 20 minutes of gameplay from the beginning of the game, so like it's pretty built out, obviously, in terms of like, we're confident in showing this and not just a CG trailer type thing. I'd like to look back at the 2018 God of War reveal, where Corey Balrog is on the stage. Barlog, not the mythical creature, my bad. Where he's on the stage and he's playing God of War 2018's demo. I'd be curious to go back and see like what was the timetable after that God of War 2018 came out. I don't know if it was a year later. That also wasn't as long of a demo. They definitely played the beginning of the game, but to a certain point. But yeah, I'll patiently wait, but I'm gonna hate every second of it.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
great. It's exciting.
Yeah. Good times. So a lot of good games out there, a lot of good female protagonists. So, those people who are hating are going to miss out on a lot of great experiences. But yeah, please let us know down in the comment section down below what caught your attention from the Summer Games Showcase lineup, whether it was AAA, AA, or independent. We'd love to hear from you. And we appreciate you guys hanging out with us today to go over all these great games. We'll be doing it week in and week out as we go forward. But yeah, if you like what you heard, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, whether you're listening on Spotify or watching us over on YouTube. Leave a comment in the comment section down below if there's a topic of discussion you'd like us to cover on a future episode. And last but not least, if there's anybody you think who would also enjoy the podcast, please feel free to share it with them. We would greatly appreciate it. It means the world to us. But TJ, thank you as always, good sir, for joining me for the podcast. I loved hearing what you're excited for. What do you think you're going to be playing after we wrap up the podcast? Anything you're looking forward to?
As soon as the podcast is over, I'm going to be hopping right back into Path of Radiance because I'm on a boat mission and I think I can kill these pirates and these people that turn into birds that swoop down and will kill you. So I think I've figured it out. It's my third time doing this mission. I think I know what I have to do now. So
very cool. All right. Well, everybody, thank you guys for giving us a watch, giving a listen. I don't remember where we were last time. Oh, that's right. We were in the desert. You see us at the beach. All right. Bye, guys.